Your handwriting is very legible.
Good.
Winds, clear zinc notcher, and arbor, cutting fluid in 2-hole size of choice. Solid. Oh, we are. All right. Joe here with Rogue Fabrication. We usually give everybody like about 1-2 minutes to get into the live video to be here for our content. So I'm not going to start anything super material within the first minute or two. We've got Vanessa and Brandon behind camera. They're probably going to let me know how many of you guys are in here watching live, so I know kind of when to start. We usually wait until we have like at least a dozen people before we start. So I've got the winner right here for our Versa Notcher, and then I'm going to tell you guys what we're shipping out today, which is behind me, and then also tell you guys more about this material sitting behind me, which is of course tubing. If you guys have been living under a rock, our company builds tubing benders, and so you may have seen that before. If you guys are really clueless, you'll probably be asking yourselves, what's wrong with straight tubing? When my wife explains to people what I do for a living, she frequently tells people he makes tubing benders, and they say, what's that? And then when she tells them what it is, they say, why don't they use the tube straight? So that's good for a laugh. I'm sure you guys already know. How many people do we have so far? 5. Well, it's 1:31. If you guys are just tuning in, Joe here with Rogue Fabrication. We're going to be giving away a tubing notcher. The winner's on this piece of paper, and then going over a little bit of news. We have another giveaway coming up, which I'll explain as well. While we're waiting for people to show up, why don't you guys just write in the comments and tell us how the audio and video is, and then for something interesting, tell us where you're viewing from. Bonus points if you're outside the US. We will calculate all the points at the end of the video, and they're worth absolutely nothing. So be ready for that. We're up to anything closer? No? Cool. We're going to get things started. So the official start of the video is now. If we're editing later, cut it here. This is, of course, a live video, so we're working in a warehouse. So you guys are going to hear tape machines, labels, people moving. Someone might walk right in front of me. That's all part of the fun. The other part of the fun of live videos is you guys get to heckle me, ask questions, do whatever you want. You guys are actually really respectful most of the time, which is kind of nice. If you do want to ask questions, go ahead and ask away. They can be basically anything related to tube bending or business or anything like that. Worst I'll say is I'm not answering that. So toward the end of the video, we'll announce the winner of the Versa Notcher. That's actually a Versa Notcher bundle, so there's more in there than just the Versa Notcher. But the entries for that were through the entire month of September. Of course, that's the month that just ended. And you could enter by writing a review for prototractors, or you could enter by buying prototractors, or you could send in a postcard. And one thing I might ask some of my staff behind camera for is a prototractor, because I don't have one in my hands to show you guys. But those are the things that we're kind of prioritizing for the giveaways for both September and October. And our next giveaway is October, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. So that was the way you could enter into the last drawing, which just ended. That's for the Versa Notcher, which we're going to announce the drawing for today. And then the upcoming drawing is the entire month that we're in right now, which is of course October. So it started yesterday, goes through the end of the month. And you can always enter our drawings and giveaways by sending in a postcard. Full details for that are roguefab.com/drawings. If we don't already have this drawing, November's drawing up there, or I'm sorry, October's drawing up there, we will be adding that to our webpage. Vanessa's nodding, telling me it's already up there, so we're good. So the other methods of entry for the drawing are going to be pretty simple and pretty similar to last time, where there's reviews and purchases. The prize for that drawing, thank you so much, Michael. If you guys haven't seen a prototractor, this is a prototractor. I'll give you guys the details on the prize for the October drawing and how to enter, but first I'm going to explain what this thing is if you haven't already seen it. So it's a protractor. That's a boring name, same one you learned in geometry in school. This is called a prototractor, hybrid of prototype, protractor. Reason why is these are sized to be able to accept PVC pipe, like the plastic stuff that goes in like sprinklers and plumbing and stuff like that. Super cheap, cut it by hand, and you can then take this stuff and set it inside your race car or wherever your project is, and it will allow you to see visually and in space, contacting the structure you're building inside like a car, exactly how your tube structure is going to look feel and stay within the confines of the space that you're trying to fabricate in, which is the huge value of these. They also have a means here to measure rotation between bends, which is one of the hardest things to measure. So you guys that are struggling with string, 3D printed parts, cardboard cutouts, all that stuff, or the competitors for this product will be really pleasantly surprised with how these help you get rotation between bends figured out, where you've got three-dimensional structures. Think of like a B pillar with a swept back bend, or an A pillar, that's the one that goes from the driver's feet up to the halo on the ceiling of a roll cage. That part always has rotation between the bends. It's super hard to nail the rotation on those without doing it a couple times or cutting and welding it. So that's what prototractors are for. They're basically $100 a piece, and they save you a lot of money on scrap. They're made in the USA, they're made out of stainless steel, and we make them right here. So they're an awesome product, and they are not an import. So that was super long. If you guys have questions about the prototractors, like any other questions, leave them in the comments, and my staff will read them to me. For entry methods for our October drawing, which is of course the one going on this month, you can enter by purchasing deep saws, which are of course our hole saws that are deeper than the little short 1.5" hardware store ones. Those go great with all of our notchers. They'll fit in the Verse notcher and the Ultra notcher. You can also enter by buying prototractors. Those get you double the entry points. I'll explain the points at the end. And you can also buy swag, like shirts, hats, the stuff I'm wearing here. And then you can also leave a review. We're actually expanding this from last month's drawing. You can leave a review on anything, and it will get you points to enter. The exact amount of points are going to be outlined at roguefab.com/drawings. But I'm telling you right now, we're going to edit that page, and we're going to double the number of points you get per review if they're for things that we specifically want reviews on. That would be the Ultra Notcher, which doesn't have that many reviews on it yet, but people do love it. Anything with a mandrel in it, so mandrel bending stuff. And then any package that's a roll cage dream package, or that includes a 2-horsepower electric hydraulic power system. These are all products that we want more information about from our customers and more testimony about. So when you do leave those reviews, make sure you're logged in. That puts the little green check mark next to your review for it being verified, like written by an actual owner of the product. And the other thing you can do to bring legitimacy to your order is include a photo. It can just be a photo of the product on your garage floor, something you built with it, or the best would be both, product and what you built, but it doesn't have to be to get the extra points. So the more work you do to make your review legitimate, the more points we're going to give you for the review. So for purchases that I listed or are available in the list on our drawings webpage, you're going to get 1 point for every $1 you spend, except for deep saws, which are also 1 point for every $1 you spend. I misspoke. Prototractors are the ones we're prioritizing. So if you're buying a prototractor in the month of October, you will be getting 2 entries for every $1. So if you spend $100 on these, you get 200 entries, which is a lot of entries. And I will explain exactly how those might be able to be leveraged to help get you even more entries. They do stack. So if you buy prototractors, get them, write a review for them, logged in, photos, you're going to get tons of entries. And there's plenty of time to order those, how they'll ship them. We usually ship them within a day or two. And then you can get it, write a review, build something with it, or just examine it and make sure you love the quality and test fit it with some PVC, experiment with it and know how it works, and then write your review. So those are all really great ways to do that. And what we are giving away is a powder-coated M605 tubing bender, and it's going to come with a die set of your choice and an air ram and a Verse notcher shipped within the lower 48 states. So we'll ship that thing. We're in Oregon. We'll ship as far away as New York or Florida if you're that far away, and that's a comprehensive package. An M605 powder-coated, so it's already assembled and welded for you. Die set of your choosing, air over hydraulic cylinder, so it's going to be air powered for bending, spring return back. Awesome setup, and we're going to ship that to you, and it's going to come with a Verse notcher. So you know, buy yourself some hole saws. Maybe you'll get a notcher and bender to go with them. So we're going to get into a little bit of news. I'll answer questions if you guys have any. Really boring news, but exciting to me. We are shipping another one of our Versa presses. This one does not have a press brake in it, but the Versa press is a large 10-ton hydraulic press that has auto return capabilities, so you can push a pedal and it goes down until you're done pressing. It's got a readout for your force, has force control, so if you're smashing stuff and you don't want to crush it completely, you can make it stop before it causes damage to your products. And then one-touch pedal return all the way up if you have that enabled. Just a simple flip of a switch and you can turn that off. So really sweet press, and we actually make them here in the US. We even build the hydraulic systems here. It's totally sweet. And you can run these off quick disconnects. This one I can tell by this big bulge here has our 2 horsepower hydraulic power unit on it, but you can take the 2 horsepower hydraulic power unit from your bender and just bolt some quick disconnects on it, and you can actually run the press off of the control system and power unit that's already on your tubing bender, as long as it's 2 horsepower. So that's a pretty cool feature. And that same person, as I believe, getting this pallet as well. And this pallet is, of course, a tubing bender with another 2 horsepower power unit and a cart and the other stuff that goes with it. So we mentioned mandrel bending in terms of one way you guys can write reviews. And I'll give you double entries if you write a review on anything that includes a mandrel. If you guys don't know what a mandrel is, it's one of these. This is what's called a mandrel bullet. It does look kind of like a bullet shape. And while you're bending, this is held in place in one piece. There's a tube or rod that goes in the back, and while the tubing is being bent, this stays in place and the tubing is actually drawn over it. So that holds the tubing open, stops it from wrinkling on the inside, keeps the outside of the bend nice and true. And I'm going to come up close to the camera. This one's aluminum and doesn't reflect light quite as well, but I've got a nice looking piece right here that I'm going to show you guys. It's going to focus on my eyes until I get them out of the camera's view, but this is a mandrel bent piece of 2-inch. And at this time, this is it in focus?
It's lagging.
Still lagging?
Yeah.
Cool. At this time, this is a little bit of a teaser piece because this is something you can't currently do in our machine. It's 2-inch, 6-inch radius, which you can do, but this is 065 wall. So it is extremely thin. If you look at all the other machines we compete with and try to find one that can bend this, none of them can. We are actually making a way, and we're committed to releasing it to the public and selling it. We're making a way to put this in your existing M600 series bender. So like an M625, you will be able to run this in a standard mandrel frame with a bunch more tooling and advanced stuff added to it. And it's not going to be that much harder to use. So it's really cool capability, and this is an extreme jump in performance over basically everything that I've seen available in the marketplace for under about $80,000 or $90,000. So huge, huge, huge jump in performance. And if you guys are curious, the way we measure deformation or deformation is diameter, 2 inches exactly in this case because it's a 2-inch tube, and then you measure whatever the smallest number you can get with calipers or a micrometer around the tubing is. This one is actually 2 inches all the way around in the middle of the bend. This is 0% deformed, which is another huge jump in performance compared to all the machinery we compete with, even other attempting to be affordable mandrel benders. So huge deal. First time I've ever shown it to anybody publicly, video or camera. Our fans on YouTube. So it's pretty cool. Other stuff, we're going to be mandrel bending. I'm glad I didn't pick this up wrong. I didn't realize it was the nested stack. We're going to bend all this copper. It's not all going to work, but we're going to find out what does and what doesn't. This is, I believe, type L. It's an HVAC spec of rigid refrigeration copper. So it's pretty popular for bending, especially when it's precision bending. And we're going to try bending all of it, bring you guys the results, tell you all about it. And yes, this is expensive. It's a lot of copper. So, do we have any questions from the crowd?
One person asked, how do I enter the giveaway?
One person asked how they enter the giveaway. I'm going to encourage that person to go back and watch this video once it's posted. It's live now. You might not be able to rewind it, but once it's done, we're going to trim the ends of it off for the clutter, and we'll have all the central part of the video. I went over in pretty good detail earlier in the video how you can enter the drawings, but basically buying stuff, reviews, postcards. But it's all going to be detailed at roguefab.com/drawings. I won't go over the whole list again because the people that started watching in the beginning probably don't want to hear it again, but it is a good question, and we do have it answered, and it'll be in this video and on our webpage enduring time. I wonder if they can hear Brandon on the phone.
I hope not.
I doubt they can. It's pretty sensitive for local speech for the most part. So unless you have any further questions, I'm going to announce the winner. And before I do, I'm going to kind of give away who it was and tell you guys more about the benefits of buying the stuff we're doubling. The person that won bought these. So they got their double points and everything else by buying proto tractors. They really do. It does matter how many points you have. I mean, if someone buys one proto tractor for about $100, they're going to get like 200 entries. A person sending in a postcard gets one. We don't give extra weight beyond that. We let a system pick the winner. It's completely random. I wish we could handpick winners, but we can't. It's totally illegal. But the winner is usually a person who either wrote reviews and did it really, really well, logged in pictures, everything else like that, or in this case, right here, they bought multiple proto tractors, and those were our multiplied products. So they bought several of them, which means they spent a few $100s, and they also got those entries multiplied because it's our highlighted product for entry for the month. So next month, that is the exact same product, not next month, this month, it's the exact same product, proto tractors. So if you're gonna buy some hole saws and some proto tractors and then go write some reviews and all that stuff, like you're gonna get hundreds of entries. So that's how you get your name basically at the, you know, most slips in the hat, most names in the hat, whatever. So the winner is Joe Hill from Texas. So congratulations, Joe Hill. He bought 4 proto tractors. He got the 6-inch radius one, so he's probably doing cage work. The funny thing about this is his second set of 4. I don't want to tell you guys where to go get a bunch of proto tractors, but Joe probably has friends and maybe he'll let them borrow them. But he owns quite a few proto tractors, which means he probably loves them. We've had nothing but great reviews on them so far. If you guys are on the fence about them or just want to see how they work, we've got 1 or 2 videos on our webpage or YouTube about the proto tractors already, and you can check out the reviews at robefab.com. Just go to Bender Accessories. The very first hit on there, the first listing at the top left of the categories is proto tractors. So they're very easy to find. Any other questions before we close? All right, guys, thank you so much for your attention, and we will see you in the reviews page and here on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. You can be the first person back here for new products, new videos, and ways to save time and money in the shop.